Yeah.
I need a purple hat.
See, purple is the color.
Well,
Yes.
Don't be
Y'all
selling
like
my hat to
purple.
nobody. I heard TK. She was about to be Brent has a hat. Brent ain't got no hat.
Diva
I
B,
got a
we did it
purple hat.
again.
If you
You
wear
did
your
it?
hat, I'm gonna wear my hat. I got a purple hat.
Okay. And I'll bring my fan too. So we'll
Mm.
fan
Oh,
it
I
and
got
hat
one
it
too.
up,
Wait,
baby.
where's she at? I don't even know
Get
where
it, baby. Get it, baby.
she over here somewhere. She'll pop up in the middle of the show.
Diva B, we look like we going to a funeral. You definitely with that fan and that church hat.
Well, we are definitely mourning our episode from yesterday. That was a crash and burn.
Okay.
Let us all bow our heads. Dear Lord, lay it to
Okay.
rest. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. We did that. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, on that note, wait, I'm not even ready. See, I was trying to be all slick and cute.
That was
I can't even find
that
the
would have
video.
been your moment. That would have been.
So I don't think the audience knew what we were doing. So can we bow our heads for a moment for last night's episode that shall rest in the shady podcast breakdown technical difficulties of the life, please?
Oh,
Yes, and bow your head. Shonda, Dr. Shonda, can you take us there?
Lead us in a prayer.
Thank you.
amen.
Oh,
Wait a minute. Wait.
That was a silent prayer, y'all.
Oh,
well, yeah, we just had just one of those kiss it up the guys kind of thing.
It was short and sweet. The Lord hears our hearts and knows our troubles.
listen.
Well, good evening, everyone. Thank y'all for rejoining us, coming back, and giving us another chance to talk Miami. I am Dr. Shonda Roberts, and let me introduce the chick above me. Well, let her introduce herself. Well, go ahead, Miss Beauty.
Yeah, oh, hi, Miss Beauty. That's me. Oh, thank you. Hi, everyone. Good evening. All the way from Miami. I am TK Owens, and it's a pleasure to be here. I'm going to pass it to the one with the orange. Is that yellow or orange background, Cindy?
It is orange.
Yes, come through, orange.
Yes. Hi, everybody. It's your girl, Cindy Winters, back at it again. We're going to do a redo. Let's talk Miami. I'm going to pass it down to the diva in the black.
Hi, darlings. It is Diva B. I am back. And yes, I do look like I'm going to a funeral, but ain't nothing about a funeral here, baby.
I know that's right.
Let's get
We
it
are
started,
live and well.
honey. Damn it. I'll pass it.
Well, thank you all. Thank you
Oh,
all.
and I have a
Thank
new
you all.
boyfriend too, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
Let
just
me
for
not
the day.
interrupt.
I wasn't done with my intro. Damn.
I'm so sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So pass it.
No, introduce us to boyfriend. Wait a minute.
That's
No,
right.
he's just visiting. He's just
He's a part
visiting.
of the show. Isn't he a
He's
part
just
of the show?
visiting. Mhm.
Okay.
But he's just visiting. So.
Do you want to share who he is?
No, he leaves tonight.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
He's
He
for
will
a
not be
short
back
stay.
next week, I promise.
Okay. Okay.
So
One of
visit.
them. Well, that's right. That's all right. Well,
Having a
thank you all
conjugal.
again. Thank you all again for coming back. We had a great conversation last night. It was going so good. We were getting educated on real estate, gentrification, and everything in between. And we had two wonderful, beautiful guests last night, and one came back tonight so we can continue the conversation. I'm going to introduce Miss Sandrell Apatera. Uh-oh, there she goes. Good evening, Queen. How are you? Oh, you're on mute. Take off the mute. All right.
Thank you guys for having me back. I'm doing good.
Thank you for coming back. You had so much information that our audience wanted to hear. Everyone was staying on last night. They didn't want to hang up. They were like, no, we'll wait. We'll hold on.
Yes. They were like, are you guys coming back?
Right. Because the information was so good. So thank you so much. And I'm going to ask the same questions that I asked last night, and then we'll just pick it up from there. We're going to go with the flow.
Okay.
So we were talking about to buy or not to buy. I want to start with a question that we didn't ask last night or didn't get to ask, or you didn't get the answer, I should say. What am I looking at when I'm purchasing a home? What am I getting myself into? Cinderella?
Are we talking about finance?
I'm
Are we
sorry, say it
talking
again.
financially or like just?
Yeah,
Are we talking about
financially,
like the?
generational wealth. Like what am I looking forward to when I purchase a home? Because a lot of people are
Okay.
afraid to do so. So let's try to get
Okay.
rid of the stigma that that's a home buying is scary and it's a problem. I'm not saying it's not. I just want to know what's the good stuff about buying a home, and then we can get into the scary stuff.
Okay. Okay, I think one of the biggest benefits, or two of the biggest benefits to buying a home is number one, stability. If you're the type of person that wants to be stable, grounded, in a certain place, then buying a home is for you. I think the second benefit is equity. You know, when you're paying rent, you're not building any equity, and equity is what you are built the money that you're building in a home for the time that you own it. So you don't get that when you're renting. That those two, in my opinion, are the biggest benefits to home ownership.
Okay, and what may be some of the downfalls, if there are any?
Um, I think some of the downfalls is not understanding that number one, it is an investment. Um, Number two, not putting the right energy and effort into the investment. You have a lot of people that purchase a home, and it could be financial for financial reasons, or I don't know. Some people just don't know what to do, but they don't make necessary repairs. And a home ages just like anything else. As we can see with that unfortunate incident that happened, on the beach with that property collapsing. You have to take care of structures. You can't just buy it and then you're done, and all you do is just live there. You have to update it. You have to make the proper updates, the roof, the electrical, the plumbing, the things that really matter in the property. So, yeah,
Sandra,
I
I don't want
think
to break
that
your
you
thought. I
have,
didn't want
that's
to
what you,
interrupt you, but someone said they can't really hear you. I know
okay,
we're trying to fix the sound. You just maybe get a little closer and talk a little bit louder, and then we'll make sure they get this good information.
okay. So,
um,
I don't, go
no, go
ahead.
ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. So, I don't know if they heard the last thing that I said, but, um, some of the things that can make home ownership a nightmare is not properly taking care of the investment. You
Right.
have to do structural upgrades. You have to do the electrical, the plumbing, the roof. You just have to do the type of upgrades that will keep a property livable.
Hmm.
That's one of my biggest things in home ownership.
Okay. So, what do you say for um, the person that says, I'm okay with renting. I don't want to worry about my AC breaking. I don't want to worry about the roof leaking. I mean, if it does, I have someone to take care of that. I don't want to worry about, the wall caving in. If it does, I can just pick up my stuff and go on to the next place. What do you say to that person? And how do you persuade them into buying a home? And I say that to say because I know some people, everyone doesn't want to purchase a home. So how do you tell them what their benefits are? I know you just said that, but how do you persuade them to buying a home besides the equity, or do you just leave them be and be like, okay, if that's your
I
choice,
will leave them. I will leave them be because
right?
I think that that's one of, especially in communities of color, I think that's one of the biggest issues, that we're having. People are sold the dream of home ownership without understanding all of the commitment, financially and legal and all the things that go along with it. And they end up losing what one of their biggest benefits is, which is the equity, because they don't want that. They don't want to have to repair the roof. They don't want to have to replace the plumbing, or they just don't want that. So I would leave them be. I think that it's perfectly okay if you don't want to own a home. I don't know if it was a huge marketing gimmick from the banks. I don't know who started that, but it definitely is not for everyone, especially in today's time when everything is so mobile. You can, move from city to city seamlessly,
Right,
and
right.
yeah, it's not for everyone. I would never try and persuade someone that it's for them. And if they strongly or feel at all, even this much, I wouldn't try and persuade them.
Also, Sandrell, to chat, if you have any insight on the differences in loans and sort of that sort of commitment with homeownership and loan distribution and the different types of loan distribution that they have out there. Traditional, conventional versus FHA versus these other sort of loans that end up not always benefiting the buyer, and it only benefits the banks. Do you have any thoughts on that?
So I'm going to say at the end of the day, it is probably more beneficial for the bank because, their business model is to make money off of the interest. So it's a huge benefit to the banks to give anyone a loan. And there's two types of loans, technically, just if we don't want to get too technical. There's, private loans, you could call them, and then there's government loans, government-backed loans. So a lot of people gravitate towards government-backed loans. That would be your FHA loan, a VA loan if you're a veteran, or a USDA loan if you want to, have like a little farm or something like that. So a lot of people gravitate towards those loans because they have benefits, right? That's the government saying that they're standing with you on your loan, and they have created guidelines that make it easier for you to get the loan. So you can put down a lower amount of money. That is the biggest benefit most people go for, the lower amount of money up front, because it's hard to save 20% or even 10%. That's hard. So that's the biggest benefit to a government-backed loan. So most people go for it. And there are some benefits like being able to go in with less money down. Some people wouldn't be able to obtain home ownership at all if they had to save 20% or 10%. So that's the biggest benefit. But, it has its downfalls, right? They have the additional insurances that go into that loan, right? That you can't get rid of anymore. It used to be you could get rid of it at some point. You can't get rid of it anymore. So, that's what you're weighing, when you're deciding if you can obtain home ownership, go in at a lower amount, you're going to have to pay more on the back end, just to keep it simple.
Yeah.
A lot of people go for that. If you have the money to do 20% down and be conventional, then it's more of a straightforward loan. You just have your regular interest, your escrow, which is your insurance and your taxes. And, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So I bought a home in 2012 in Miami, and I was a part of the crowd of people who could obtain an FHA loan that would eventually private mortgage insurance would drop off at a certain point.
Oh, yeah.
I've had the house
you got in good. Yeah.
Yeah. And every year I'm like, do I qualify? Do I qualify? And you always have to apply in order for them to sort of review your claim and then, whether they can approve you. So it's like either 20% of the loan is paid off or they just feel like it's been 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I just got a letter last month that my PMI fell off finally. Because
good for you.
Thank you. And then I also learned that, after that FHA loan where you only put down 3% or 2.5% of the cost of the loan, you then are stuck with this private mortgage insurance that carries for the life of the loan. So it's not always a benefit. It may be better off for you to go the 20% conventional loan, or rent, or go into it with a group of trusted friends or family or whatever your choice is. But I kind of am a little obsessed with this topic. I'm so glad you're here.
Good.
Because
I'm equally as obsessed.
I mean, low key, I am like, there was a skit on SNL that Saturday Night Live that talked about, like, it was a very moody scene and there were people staying in bed and there's dimly lit, and like, I do it at night before bed. I go on Zillow.com and I look at houses. That's me. I don't know what I'm doing in Arlington, Virginia, but I'm in there just looking at what the property value is in Arlington, Virginia. I got no business there.
Cindy, you need to sit on. She need to sit on your couch, Shonda.
Do your finger again, Cindy.
I have a couch, a whole sectional. Come on.
I mean, if you got a sectional couch, maybe we can put that couch in Arlington, Virginia, and rent that house. There's some people who need rent.
Yes.
I'm like
Sign me
obsessed with this
up.
stuff. So I have a
Yes.
question about
Come on.
for
Yes.
qualifications to qualify for people in our community who was like, I'm interested in buying a house one day. I'm thinking long term in the next 5 years. Maybe the market goes down, hopefully. And we can chat about the market. We touched on it yesterday, but bring
Okay.
that back in. What are some of the qualifications for purchasing a home and being qualified for a loan? I have a lot of viewers who are interested, like young people who I talk to about financial literacy. So this kind of falls right into that.
Okay, good. So, and this is I am equally as obsessed about this, right? Because I am also a MLO, a mortgage loan originator. So, you have to have 2 years of employment, gainful employment, W-2 or 1099. You have to, of consistent employment, preferably the same place. You're not going to get around that. I don't care how good your credit is. I don't care how much money you have. The bank is not impressed. You have to have that consistent employment or 1099. You just are not going to get around it. Also, your liabilities. There's what's called a debt to income ratio. It does not matter how much money you bring home a year, right? Per se.
Mm-hmm.
It's how much you bring home a month. And how much out of that monthly income are you spending on any other credit debts? That is what's important. So one of the biggest things that I see that kills people opportunity to get a property is cars.
Really?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. A car will kill your opportunity because the payment is so high. Now you can do a
But that's another story. Why are you buying a car before you buy a house? But that's another story. But okay.
well
Okay.
Because
so
girl, how you gonna get to the house if you ain't got a car?
I just believe in, like, I'm just sorry, investments.
Let her chime in on that.
Yeah, go ahead, Sandra.
Shandra, you ever had anybody show up to your open house off the bus? Just came off the bus to the open house.
Not
You know.
that I saw them coming off the bus stop, but I don't ask either. I don't know.
No, I just feel like if you're going to buy a car, you shouldn't have a payment if you don't even have a house yet. I talk about priorities here. I mean, you can have a car, but it should be paid in cash, and you had enough. That how can you be making huge payments, $700 or $800 car payments, but you still live with your mama?
But
Like,
TK, we got to remember in this
So
world,
that's-
your priorities are not my priorities.
I get it, but
Shonda's priorities are red bottoms before she gets a house, honey.
But that, which is true, but I don't see how a man or anyone could come pick me up in a Beamer, but you still live with your mama. Like, I
So
just
let's
look at
see
things.
I get it.
So
I
I
get
want to
it.
get to the effect of that.
Okay,
Chandrell,
go.
continue, please.
So
Mhm.
you know what? That is another segment
Right.
we could really discuss. We can
Another
really
show.
open that up, right?
Another show.
Yes.
That's tomorrow's episode.
Okay.
Wait now.
But
I gotta do
the
somebody
effects
help.
of it. Wait. What you trying to say?
I gotta do somebody help. Y'all know I got 10
effects of
jobs. Go
having
ahead, keep going.
on your debt profile, on your liabilities. A lot of time it's detrimental if your income is not high enough, right? It is very disruptive to what you're trying to do if you're trying to make a purchase. If your income is not high enough, a lot of people have the mindset that, well, I pay my rent right now with my car note, so yeah, I can pay for my loan. The bank doesn't work like that. The bank works on ratios. So your ratio has to even out per the bank's guidelines in order for them to feel like you can afford both.
Do you have a number of the ratio, what the percentage is?
Yes. So the ratios are 35 on the front end. Oh, wait, I'm trying to fix my camera angle. Am I good? Okay.
Yep.
There it
Yeah,
is.
that right there.
Okay. 35 on the front end, 41 on the back end.
Which way's front and which way's back?
Okay, so you know what? I have to check those ratios, but let's just do hypothetical, right? Hypothetically, the front end ratio, hypothetical on the numbers, but I'm telling you what the ratios mean. The front end ratio is how much they feel like you can afford in your actual mortgage payment, right? So let's just say, for instance, you can afford on your front end ratio, they say, well, you qualify for $1,000 that you can pay for your mortgage, right? On the back end, that's going to be your mortgage plus any other credit debt. So that's
All right. Can I pause for a sec?
Sure.
Can we actually get that a real number?
Yeah.
100,000, 250,000, 300,000?
You're looking at it in terms of what you make a year.
I'm talking about how much to pay for a house.
Oh,
Right?
you mean how
Oh,
much
put it on.
they'll-
Yeah, how much the house? Yeah.
How much the house costs and the
Right.
loan that you're applying for?
Right. Okay. So let's just say, for instance, you're gonna buy my calculator.
Yes, we're going to school today, y'all.
You ain't seen
I just
Sandra
wanna
apply the
say,
calculator. Honey,
When she
You
said
see,
$1,000 a
look,
month
y'all.
for a mortgage, I'm
My
like, she ain't living in Miami.
Okay, boo.
Okay, listen, I can't find that nowhere in Miami.
$1,000, you ain't living in Miami, honey.
But maybe a tiny house. You know, they have these container homes now. I don't know, something else. But give me a
Girl.
second. Let me pull out my calculator.
But while
Sandra,
she's
take
doing
it.
that,
Well, in the
have a quiet-
meantime, we should talk. Now, let her calculate and we'll talk.
Yeah, so I follow this podcast called, or this another YouTube show called Earn Your Leisure, and they have guests on there, and they talk about how to purchase homes, how to purchase mobile homes, how to purchase tiny homes, how to do Airbnb, how to buy your
Yes.
car, all these different things for financial literacy for our community. And so I love to dive in to talk about these topics and I have purchased a car through my business, and I can write it off 100%.
I did the same thing, Sin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
that's
smart.
great. Yeah, and so like continuing to share this information, like Shonda, you can write off your car
Yeah, that's what I did.
under your business,
And I also bought my grandmother's house, and I rented out my first rental property.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. And
Girl,
and
don't be
having
giving all your secrets.
no, you want to get
No, you want to share.
I want to
do.
share all the secrets
Yeah.
because people who watch our show, I
Mhm.
want to empower them
That's
to take those steps because people my age, it's harder for us to buy homes because we're young and our debt ratio, our debt to income ratio is super far
Well,
off because college
especially-
Well,
loans.
at 25 years old, I mean, you haven't established much.
Thank you so much.
What Shandra was trying to say something.
Especially it's the student loans.
Right.
Oh, now, don't get me started on that. With 3 degrees later, I'm still up there. Biden, hey Biden, how you doing, boo? Get those student loans just wiped off. How you doing, Biden?
Well,
Yeah, I hear
want
that
to-
that's happening.
Sandra, if you're ready, you can
Wow.
continue because we do have
Yeah.
quite a few questions that I would love for you to answer.
Okay.
We have the time, so-
Sydney, that's definitely going to be a different show in its entirety, right? To discuss those ratios. But I think what's really important is for people to understand that what you have been piecing together or struggling to afford is not the same as what the banks consider affordable.
Mhm.
And I say that because when people do things like get a car note, right? If you have even if you have a $400 car note, right? It's not just $400 because you have your $400 car note and you have your insurance, right?
Insurance.
Now the bank is not looking at your insurance. They're not paying your insurance any attention, but they are looking at the fact that your numbers are stressed. When they try and do your ratios to make sure you can afford that home. If your numbers are stressed, they're not going for it. And on top of that, some people say, well, I work 2 jobs. Your second job doesn't count unless you've been working that second job 2 years.
Mhm.
So a lot of people, okay, well, I've been working this job, for a year. I did another side job last year. None of that matters. What matters is what you consistently have for 2 years. So the numbers, yes, the numbers do matter, but I think it's better if people understand what matters in terms of the substance, the quality of what matters. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily, oh, well, I bring home $5,000. I've been doing that for the last 7 months. That doesn't matter. They want to see consistency because they want to make sure that you're not going to be a risk. At the end of the day, they're looking at who's going to be a risk, to paying off that loan, because it's not just the business that they're doing with you on the front end. they're selling those loans. So you have to qualify in order for someone to buy that loan on the back end so that the bank can continue using their money you to do whatever they have to do. So they want to sell your loan. So you have to have a good profile. So that is really what matters. So yes, we can discuss DTI, which is your debt to income ratio, as it pertains to how much you qualify for, as it pertains to what your liabilities are. But I think it's better for people to understand that these are the parameters that exist so that you'll know how to move forward when you're getting your student loans. You know, rather you should be buying a car with a student loan. Rather
Leave me
than
alone,
going to-
Sandra. Leave me
No,
alone.
I'm
Leave me
serious,
alone.
right? I am serious. I'm not messing with you, TK. What I'm saying is, if you are a person that is in college, you're getting your degrees, and you know that you're going to want to come out into the world, buy a house, have a decent car, a workable car. So that's a big topic, TK, because you have, when you're asking, you know, well, what kind of car do people have and where they live, it's necessary to have a good vehicle, especially somewhere like Miami. You know, public
A reliable.
transportation does not work here. So
Mhm.
even if you have a Toyota Camry versus what you're going to pay for a Beamer, sometimes it's not that far off.
Mhm.
The person decided I might just take a hit on the luxury car. So it's important to know what you can do, how you can strategize so that you can actually qualify to purchase.
Wow, that's awesome. Good, great information. I want to try to see if we can tackle some of these questions in our last few moments.
Okay.
We have one from, I'm going to post it. Post it here and then I will read it. Since it's a seller's market, Lord, I'm old. I cannot see. Since it's a seller's market, what would you advise investors to do when looking to make an investment? Should you wait? That's from Ryan Masman.
So I believe that it would be in an investor's best interest to wait, right? Because investors don't benefit the same from low interest rates because they're normally making purchases cash. So if you're an investor, this unless you just come across a really good deal, this is not your season.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Wait it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should wait it out.
Here's our next. I don't know if it's a question or a statement. I think buying a condominium and renting it out to get residual income is beneficial than a home for a 30-year loan. Okay.
Okay.
But
All right,
then,
good.
I mean, how are you buying that condo? Are you talking about cash? Because other than that, it would be a 30-year loan just on a condo.
Regardless.
And on top of that, you're going to have the HOA fee, which is going to eat into some of, you know, your profits that you would make off of that rent. So, yeah, I don't see that being a big difference.
Can you refinance an FHA loan?
Yes, you can. You can also streamline an FHA loan, which is just drop the rate. You don't necessarily have to pull out equity.
Okay.
Ooh, good question.
How do you see her answer the
You see it? You
That's
see
my
it?
guess. That's my
Yeah,
guess.
I see
I
it.
invite her on here. So is it beneficial
we
to
got
purchase a
territory.
duplex? So
Territorial.
is it beneficial to purchase a duplex or a condominium instead of a home?
I'm gonna go for duplex. The reason I'm gonna say duplex is because there's income in the duplex. Not only can purchasing a duplex increase your income, it can also you're gonna make money off of it, so it's income earning. So, and what I mean by increase your income is if you, let's just say you make $4,000 a month at work, and you only qualify for, you know, I don't know, $250,000. Well, a duplex right now, they're running you $350 and up in most cases. So where are you going to get that extra money from? You know, to where's that extra $100,000 going to come from? Well, if since it's a duplex, if it's renting for, let's say, $2,000 a month, 75% of that $2,000 is going to get added to your income. So you make, you know, $4,000 at work, but they're going to stack the 75% of that $2,000 on top of your money to give you a bigger approval amount. So now you can afford the duplex, and whatever that $2,000 in a month in rent is going to help you pay that mortgage.
Okay,
so I picked the duplex.
Okay. I know we need to move us along, but I wanted to ask this because we started talking about this yesterday when our our connection got rudely interrupted from our host.
The nerve.
Yes.
Yes.
And this is when it got hot. But we're
Mhm.
not going to stand it too long. But I wanted to talk about gentrification. And
Okay.
I know TK was making a point last night before we were rudely interrupted. And one of her, well, I want you to explain again for those who did not hear, what is gentrification? I know you had a different feeling about it as opposed to our other host, right? Or am I wrong? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So I wanted to make sure I wasn't saying it wrong. So I think that I wanted to hear your thoughts on it. And then TK, if you remember your comment, I wanted you
Of
just to
course.
bring that up again. So go ahead, Sandra. What is gentrification, and why is it
So-
necessary?
So, well, gentrification is described as when normally investors come into a low income area and purchase the property and do improvements that improve the area, also the cost of living in the area. And it's described to where it pushes out, the current occupants and makes it unaffordable for them.
Okay. TK.
So I grew up, for those who live here in Miami, I grew up in Perrine, across the track though. There's the east side and the west side.
And I was in
Okay.
Rainbow City, honey. I was on the other side.
Don't get it twisted. But speaking of that, there is a $500,000 home that
Mhm.
is built in Perrine, and it still hasn't sold in 2 years. So is it even beneficial to have such an upgraded house like that in a neighborhood like that?
Girl, what that
And
house
then
at? I didn't see that.
I know right by the stove.
Girl, it's on the corner.
On the corner.
It's on the
Um,
opposite corner of
okay.
your corner, Sean.
And I'm
Okay.
and I'll send you guys pictures, and it's been on the market for 2 years, and I see why. Why would I go invest in a beauty? Is the house beautiful? It is gorgeous. But to live in that neighborhood, that's one thing. And the second thing that I talked about last night, why, I don't know if it's city officials or who, Cindy, good point last night. Why can't we invest the money back into the community and beautify the community by adding palm trees, or Mr. Bell's store, give him a new shopping plaza? So that was my intake on that last night.
Okay.
Or even one more thing, sorry, beautifying everything and kicking us out, and we can't afford to stay there. That's another
Wait a minute.
point. Like
Jose got
overtown.
some tea.
Bring it, Jose.
Wait,
But
Jose. Jose got some tea over here. I don't know.
little things like that, Shen, especially like in Overtown, they're building all those condos, and people in Overtown can't afford it. So now they're being pushed to be moved out. Like, how does all of that work, and how do you feel about that?
So let me draw a distinction. There's renters and there's owners.
Mhm.
A lot of what you see when you say moving people out, a lot of that are renters or public housing recipients, right?
Okay.
Where they're susceptible to that. That's one of the downsides to not owning, where you remember I said stability was one of the benefits of ownership, because you have rights in your ownership, in the ownership of your property, you have rights. So if you let's just take somewhere like Overtown, they had the really big apartment buildings. If the private owner of that apartment building decided to close that building down to do something else, that's their right.
Yeah.
That owner doesn't owe the people of Overtown or anywhere else anything. They don't, honestly.
Well, then, I got another question. Is that us buying our own property in our own neighborhoods, and that means Black and brown people? Then who doesn't care? Well, don't even get me started. That's another topic, huh? Oh,
That's
Lord.
Thursday show.
So
Diva B, we gonna be on every night, Diva B.
I
got enough hats.
Letting y'all know. So
Oh, don't get me started. I'm sorry. I'm so sensitive about
I'm
that.
about to put you on mute, TK.
Okay, I'm going on mute.
Okay, so
Hold on,
it's
my
very
friend.
hard to have the conversation about ownership of a neighborhood and our actions in terms of ownership without looking at what has traditionally happened to us systematically, right? So that's not the topic for tonight. So I'm not ignoring it, and I'm not speaking on it, but if we're just talking about today, where we are today as
Mhm.
owners or renters, occupants of a certain neighborhood, it is that private owner's right to sell that property. And in doing that, the people that have lived there for however long, they have no choice. They have to move on. That's one of the downsides to ownership.
Wow.
In a community, let's just, and in Overtown, after I-95 was put through there was very little actual homes being owned. Most of it was like the renters, was left. So let's take a neighborhood, let's say like a Liberty City, where there's a lot more actual home ownership. When you talk about gentrification, like right now, if you were to ride by the Pork and Bean projects, it looks completely different. If you blink, you'll think you're in Pembroke Pines. It looks very different. When you talk about them moving the people out, most of those people, all of the people that lived in the Pork and Bean projects were, public housing recipients. So they really don't have the rights that come along with ownership to say, no, you can't move us out. And when you look at the public sector, the city's responsibility or the county's responsibility, their responsibility. Now, again, we're not addressing the systematic things that have been done in the misuse of public policy against us. So I'm not ignoring that. It's just that that's not really the topic at this very second. When you think about, what the job of the city or the county is, the municipality, they have to meet the demand of growth in the community. So when you think about somewhere like Liberty Square, which is the Pork and Bean projects, it was built, I believe, in the 30s. When you just think about the age of that community, it was time. It was time for either a major renovation or a complete rebuild. And when you think about using the public's money to do that, you have to think of highest and best use of that space. Would it be better for them to put $50 million into a renovation, or put $50 million into a public-private partnership to make thousands of units versus maybe the 400 units that are there? Because when you look at the growth demand in Miami-Dade County, you know that we're bursting at the seams. We need more housing. So, it's in terms of just moving people out, and it just being gentrification, it gets very complicated.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that gentrification is somewhat necessary, because how long is the hood going to be the hood? How long? There's also a natural evolution to gentrification, because people age out. If you're a native Miamian, you know that the people that own the homes, your grandmothers, your parents, they're older now.
Mm-hmm.
You got the grandparents are in their 70s and 80s. They're passing away.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't coming back. And then you have the generation that was totally dismantled in the crack era, that a lot of those adult children, aren't in good enough shape to take home ownership.
Right.
So there's a lot of intricate details that play into something like gentrification, which is why I'm not always sold on the fight. Don't move us out. Don't kick us out. Some things are very necessary. And some of it is going to be by choice or by force, and that is the public sector. And some of it is by neglect and the inability for the generational turnover to happen in the private home ownership.
Wow. Sandra, you have enlightened us. You do it again, Cindy. Yes, that's a queen right there, giving us some jewels and information, and not being afraid to, not agree with the masses. So I thank you. I applaud you. I appreciate you. I wish we could talk for another hour about. I still have a bunch of questions, but we may have to.
We gonna bring her back, because I ain't.
That's Friday show.
Yes.
Honey, she real smart. That's
Just
my
tell
friend.
me.
Hey, boo. That's my friend, y'all. So I am so pleased to have you on here, and I just can't wait to pick your brain some more at a later date. And I'm praying you'll be available. But let the people know how they can reach you. If they want to get information, if they want to purchase a home, don't be calling my friend bugging her now. Call her if y'all want to
Ooh.
purchase a home, need to sell a home, or whatever, a rent home, whatever she do. Call her for that. Let me ask her a bunch of questions. So give them the information. Let them know how to reach you.
Okay. So if you Google me, literally, all my information is gonna pop up. Like, so if you Google Sandrell Apatera, I'm there. If you want to look me up on social media, Sandrell Apatera, I am there. I use the hashtag Miss Miami Real Estate. If you can't spell Apatera, some people are gonna forget that. So you can find me there, Miss Miami Real Estate. Or you can just give me a call, 786-975-4638. Give me a call.
Thank you. And I also wanted
your
to
number.
I don't
Say that again.
Girl.
They're gonna be cold.
Wait.
786-9.
Let me hold on. Let me get him.
You better get that block button ready.
let me give Miss
Did our
Arcana-
guest Jose get your number so he could buy a duplex? Because he keeps talking about a duplex. I think Jose needs a duplex.
Okay.
Call him Sandrell. You want a
Jose,
duplex?
Jose can call me at 786-563-3064. And you
There
can
you go,
One more-
Jose. Go get your duplex, boo.
Yes.
Say it one more time, Sandrell.
786-563-3064.
Thank you. And I also wanted to give Miss Arcala's number and information. She was on yesterday, but we couldn't get around to it. It's Arcala, ARKAYLA, at the core, CORE, realtors.com. I'm not going to give out this number. I'm not sure it's the right number, so I don't want to give it out. But her email is ARKAYLA at the core, realtors.com. We appreciate you both for coming. Thank you for coming back. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We enjoyed you,
welcome.
and we will have this discussion again. We have a lot more to talk about. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Stay
You're
back
welcome.
because we need you to sign a waiver for giving out your number. We need you to sign a waiver just in case.
I got a
Good
consent
night.
form for you.
Good night, Central.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
All right, y'all. That was very, very, very informative, especially for
Yes.
me.
Yes.
I really enjoy that information, and I can't wait to have her back on. But guess what? We need to get into some dirt, some mess, honey.
Honey.
Okay, so I did not. We're gonna talk about the BET Awards.
Mm.
I watched pieces of it. I didn't even know it was on. I don't know how I found out it was on. I was an ad, whatever. But I didn't watch all of it. What I did see was the tribute to Queen Latifah, which I enjoyed. I did see the Twerkulator.
Oh, Lord.
City Girls.
I did see what's the one? Not Lil Nas.
Lil Nas.
I saw his.
Great performance. But it was something
The
at the
performance
end.
was
The finale.
great. The performance was great. I will say, what he did in the time, in the time he put into it and making sure it was great. The performance was great.
Hat off to
Can I ask a
Bankhead, the
question, though?
choreographer.
Can I ask a question? Because this is something that I've been wanting to know about.
Uh-oh.
Why is
Me too.
it that when two women like Madonna and Britney kiss, it was publicized, but not in the context of how Lil Nas has had it. For Lil Nas to kiss a man on TV, I don't know if y'all know, but I watch The Oval from Tyler Perry all the time on BET, honey. And that show is full of kissing men and itchy kitchy men and the whole nine. So the fact that Lil Nas's kiss over succeeded what his performance was,
But did
I've
it?
actually been
What do you
feeling
mean?
some
Did
type
it?
of way.
Did
I
it?
didn't know that it did.
If you go to Twitter,
If it's all on social media. The main
all
thing that
over
they pointed
social
out was
media
his kiss.
was his kiss. And it wasn't even about the fact that Homeboy broke it down to some Michael Jackson. Like I even said to some people that I knew, if Michael Jackson had been in that audience, he would have stood up and applauded because Lil Nas, honey, that the choreography, and TK obviously can emphasize even more being a choreographer. That's not easy choreography.
No, and
he
Shonda,
broke
do you
it
mind if I
down.
Okay, go ahead.
Wait.
Mhm.
Before we even get into this, because
I'm sorry.
moving too fast. I want to Miss Cindy with the spotlight.
Yes.
I want to talk to Miss Cindy about our entertainment industry and her thoughts on the BET Award. Go ahead, Miss Cindy.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shonda Roberts. I have for Cindy Spotlight and spotting the BET Awards, my hat goes off to the artistic and creative directors who put together these performances. Okay, I'm going to say something good before I give my notes because that's the right thing to do. That's what they say
Right.
you're supposed to do. So I want to give my hats off to the choreographers and the artistic directors who put together the entire performance set, lighting design, choreography, staging, all of those things. And the contractors who contract musicians, all the people who go and have a gig and put it all together, kudos.
Bullet.
Second thing.
Exactly.
So I have a couple. Second thing, and I'll make my point, but I feel like we need some variety in the presentation of performances and representation when it comes to when you say Black entertainment television and Black entertainment music. It was very heavy on a particular region of hip hop, rap, and this year, you know what I mean? And there wasn't a lot of vocal performances, singing performances, which resonate with people like me and people in my industry. And there are so many amazingly talented singers. Her is a standout always to me because she's a multi-instrumentalist. She kills it. And she actually she received the award for Best R&B Pop Artist. And she had a speech. And I think it really plays into, as we wrap up Black Music Month, it kind of represents what we've been trying to say on this show.
I had the pleasure of being on a stage of a different genre, completely different genre. And, you know, they asked me, what are you bringing to this stage? It's a completely different world. You know, you come from R&B. It was a country stage. And I said, well, actually, R&B and soul music is the foundation of country music. Black music, there would be a lot of the other genres. There wouldn't be a lot of those other genres if it was not for Black music.
And I back her 100%. And I think we all ought to we all are agreeing on that. The third thing though, as a dancer, choreographer, performer that performs for the last 18 years of my life on big stages like the BET Awards, I don't know if I'm offended or what, but every backup dancer, I feel like in order to get that job, any of the jobs for dancing by any of the performers, you had to be comfortable with exposing your body. Now, I'm a dancer. I've been working in this industry for 18 years, and we never really had to wear costumes like that. Now, granted, I love me a bikini and I will, but it was just the saturation of all of it was really sort of like surprising to me. Roddy Ricch did it in a nice, classy way. At least he dressed his girls up in glitter and sequins, which is cute and nice. But they were still, nevertheless, in two pieces and bikinis. And I have to always consider waxing my bikini line in order to get this gig, right. And I wanted to hit it over to TK about what she thinks about this. In her previous life, she's a dancer choreographer as well, who has performed in award shows like the MTV Music Awards and not that long ago. Yeah.
Well, for me it was, but that's okay. I'm telling my age, but no, Cindy, you bring up a good point. You and I had this conversation. Like when I was on the MTV Music Awards, we couldn't even show skin. And I'm like, Cindy, I said, is it me? Or was it like the year of the twerkulator? Like everybody, booties was out, just skin was out. And I'm just going to show a little small clip of representation from the 305. Yes. Here we go. Bust ass on fleek with it. Slim thick petite with it. I'm bad. He ready to keep missing. One time for my free bitches. After hour, no sleep. When I get my freak on, they throwing money like me, John. When I do my dance, money fight. These more fine. JC, I ain't clean. Little bitch, I want your me. Okay, now it's time for the percolator.
Okay.
Girl, that's how I dance.
Right there. Listen.
And this is Miami,
This is Miami now.
So we ain't nothing wrong with booty shaking. We're not saying that.
it just has changed. And you know what? I had this conversation again with
I
you
got so
know,
many questions.
exactly. Wait, hold it right, Shonda. I'm like, one, I'm officially at that age that I didn't know any of the artists, and that's just me. Maybe it's just I sounded like my mama on Sunday. I was like, "Baby, who is this? Little baby who?" And duh, there's a duh and a lil, and my little one had to break it down. I don't know these people, so one, that's the thing. Two, I do understand over time things change, and maybe I just have to accept that entertainment is not the same. But I don't know, like Cindy said, should I be insulted or like glad or proud? To me, I wasn't. I'm sorry. I'm just not gonna. Okay, go ahead.
Let me just say, okay, I don't want to offend anyone. So
Right.
please excuse me what I'm about to say. So in the field that I work in, I work with young, teenage, impressionable girls, right? In my job that pays me and in my non-for-profit where I work for free, I'm always dealing with young girls and young boys.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to empower and encourage these young girls to respect and love themselves when you got this going on in their everyday view, wherever it is. And I'm not saying that, what's the cheer name, honey?
Which one?
Lil Duh.
Yeah, all of
Duh.
them. I'm
All
not
of
saying
them.
they don't respect and love themselves, and they don't have to be people role models. I'm just saying for me, it's hard because this is what they look at. This is who's getting money. This is who's on top. This is who's wearing the red bottoms. This is who is on TV. All of this is what they look at. So sometimes when I'm talking, they're like, "Girl, Miss Shonda, you got on a button-down shirt and some tennis shoes. What you talking about? You can't tell me anything." You know, and it makes it hard. Yes, sometimes it gets to 1 and 2 ears. Sometimes it falls on deaf ears. And then I also work in the field where we deal with a lot of human trafficking victims, a lot of human trafficking, domestic violence victims, and sexual abuse victims. And then you have people saying, "Well, we should not be violated because of what we wear," and we shouldn't. We shouldn't. We should be able to wear what we want, and without the fear of someone violating us. That's all right. However, we still need to carry ourselves and take responsibility of what we have on, where we are, what we're doing, because not only we need to respect ourselves, because there are people out here that feel like you don't respect yourself if you walk around like that. They don't know you. They don't know, TK, that you've done all these great things and you walk up and down the street with some thongs on. They're gonna feel like you don't respect yourself. They don't know you like that. Right. They don't know who you are. They don't know that if I go and touch her booty, will she be offended? Some people don't care. There are some people in this world that are sick.
Is it this generation?
It's what
I was actually having that
know.
conversation today, actually. You know, go ahead, Cindy.
To make the point about what is being fed to us by the media, it is a message of empowerment, body empowerment. It is your body. It is your choice. You can choose whatever you want to do with it, and others need to control themselves and their thoughts and their actions around your body. So I am 100% in support of that. However, not everybody is going to go into the lane of being a rapper, a scripper.
With the K.
Script. With the
K.
Script.
I said it. And they're not going to go in that lane. And majority of people, and it's not Memorial Day every day. So the messaging is when you oversaturate somebody's Instagram feed with that becomes, it doesn't matter what their parents are listening to. It doesn't matter what their parents are saying. What they're experiencing amongst their peer group is what is going to influence them probably the most at this time. TK?
Dr. Shonda, can you, I would love Diva B because he even picked some photos to share with us. Can we talk about fashion, Diva B? Take us there because even when they were.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Diva B dishes the dirt then. Go ahead, Diva B. Let us know about the fashions of the BET Awards.
There it is, honey.
Well, before I get into that, I do want to touch base on what Cindy was just saying because I was having that conversation with somebody today in the sense of the generation from where we are and from what is now is so completely different. And listen, I agree with part of what Cindy just said, but I disagree with other parts. The reason I'm saying that I don't agree is, yes, it's fine to love yourself and to, love your body. I mean, big girls, skinny girls, big boys, skinny boys, whatever, love your body. But there is a classy way to do it.
Come
And
on now.
if you're going to walk down the street with a thong up your behind that you can't even see, so you look naked, and little pasties on your little nips, and then expect men to respect you, honey, you don't live on this planet. Because I don't know any straight man or gay man or any man, period, that sees a naked body, male or female, walk down in front of them and they ain't got something to say.
Yep.
Cindy can even contest to this because you live in New York. How many times you walk full clothes, turtleneck with a parka on because it's snowing outside and the construction men are still woo woo, hey, what's up, mommy?
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah. So to me, this generation that's glamifying, just be naked. I mean, I was born and raised in Miami. I might not live in Miami right now. I live in the state of Florida in Fort Myers, but I was born and raised in Miami. Okay. I am a true 305. I am not a transplant, none of that. Okay.
All right. 954.
And I have seen the outfits go from a bikini to where it's like floss, and I'm all for empowerment and doing your body, but that's gonna lead me into my
and it's
fashion.
being worn everywhere. It's not even at the
Thank you.
Even
it's
in
a time
the
and a
award
place
shows.
for that. Right.
Even in the award shows.
When they hit the red carpet, Diva B, and I was like, is that what she wore to the BET? I'm
Skin is
sorry.
I
Go
think
ahead.
skin is in.
We went to the stadium, took the kids to a boxing match. Baby, they was naked. Where you going? We couldn't sit down in the
Look at this. Look at all that skin, y'all. Look.
Can I tell you one thing that I saw in the BET Awards that I was really shocked by? And I love me some Meg Thee Stallion. Okay, if you know me, you know that I love me some Cardi B and some Meg Thee Stallion. But when Homegirl walked up to receive her award in that white dress, I'm not even gonna lie, I seen the kitty cat.
Ooh.
Because the camera view just caught it where now she might have had her little, the tape or whatever women wear when they wear something like that. I don't know. But there's no reason that I need to see your kitty cat or your breasts or even your male part for that matter. Okay. Because to me, I mean, there's a time and a place to do that. Now, granted, she rocks the shit out of that dress. Excuse my French. I hope your kids is in bed by now. She rocked the hell out of that dress. But skin is in, and I feel like the more skin, the better.
Who's that on the end of the black dress? I can't see nothing.
Ebony, Obsidian.
Ebony, yeah.
It seems like everyone is like paying homage to Lil' Kim. Remember when Lil' Kim and at the MTV
She
Awards
had her breast out.
Yeah, and Diana Ross was like ding 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 and sort of like tested it.
But even then that was classy, right?
She was fully clothed except for that one.
Fully clothed except for the one, and the boob was
except
covered.
for that one boob. Yeah.
And it was covered.
It was covered. So to me, it's like, okay, fine. That, okay, I understand that. But I'm speechless.
Well,
yeah, it's a vibe that it's interesting because I'm not that old, and TK has a daughter in her early 20s, and now we have to explain to them.
Old either. What you mean? Wait a minute.
I mean, like, to find this. You're right. We have to kind of have a very clear conversation with these young people. Like, guys, this is. Yeah. Unfortunately, if this is kind of the climate that the entertainment industry is going in, it'll be really tough to sort of be prudish and not go for those dance auditions.
Yeah. Look at Jose. Jose said Megan look good. He gonna buy Megan a duplex. He said Megan look good. It's Hot Girl Summer. That's her her marketing tactic.
You're right. You're right.
But
it's
did you
everyone.
guys see her last video?
Oh, and that's fine.
It was just booty. It's this generation. I'm gonna let it go.
Jose, I agree with you. She looked amazing. Okay, from a gay man. Okay, I can only imagine what a straight man thinks. Okay,
yeah.
But as a gay man, I thought, okay, she looks good, but there's a whorish sense to it. And I'm sorry, but the little girls that see her, like Cindy was saying, it doesn't care what your parents are looking at, what your friends are looking at. It's what you are looking at on a daily. And I don't know why the kids think less is better.
They
You know,
do.
because
You don't
I mean,
know
I'm,
the
I'm
I think
old
songs.
school.
social media plays a huge part. I just
Well, and
think.
so does music. I mean, if you think about
Yeah.
it, Twerkulator, the song
Yeah.
is pretty much
Yeah.
saying, "Go shake your ass. It's okay."
But that
Yeah.
was
You know,
Doodle Brown. That was Doodle Brown back in the
Right.
days. Now,
it was.
Right.
It
Just gonna
was.
say
baby,
that.
I could do me a
And
little
look how
Doodle
much
Brown back
backlash
in
they
the
got.
day.
It was. And you know, I was the one right there. It freaked me. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm
And our access granted, but it wasn't the majority of the performances. He
yeah.
was,
Yeah.
you know, definitely a commodity. And I get on the high horse about it because there wasn't any showcasing of jazz art musicians who are killing the game.
Right.
Mhm. It was
Of,
no
of
variety.
of other world music outside of Burna Boy. You know, there was a less about of representation of Black entertainment.
Right.
But Cindy, also a lot of our female artists dressed in baggy clothes and tennis shoes and
Yeah,
you know
And they still
Latifah.
made
Queen
it. Look at
Latifah.
Look at TLC.
TLC,
Yeah.
Aaliyah.
TLC.
You know, they were
Aaliyah.
dressed, and I'm dressed like
We
when
were
I
fully
And they were
clothed.
sexy.
cross colors. If I had me every
Yep.
cross color outfit, baggy pants,
Yes.
long shirt,
Fully
tennis
clothed.
shoes, because that was sexy back then. I don't know when the clothes came off.
I know.
Don't
And
get me
for
wrong,
me,
Actually,
because I wore a
speaking
bodysuit
of
back in my
sexy
day.
back then, I got to give a shout out. You know, my mama, she watching. So, like
Okay,
she said,
Mom.
Gloria.
Hey,
in,
Mom.
in the old days, that mystery was sexy. You know,
Yeah.
it was men worked hard to get that sexiness. It was,
Because
hard.
under them baggy
let
crisscross
me buy her a
crisscross
rose.
clothes
Let me take her
with
to
some
dinner.
curves, honey.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
like it was that sexiness that, you know, men worked for. Nowadays, it's
Yeah.
almost as it's mandatory. I took you to the
Yeah.
movies. We need to see your clothes off, and it's like no.
So I want to add to that real quick.
Mhm.
And the idea that it now takes away some of the work that men have to do,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Exactly. You don't even have to
get
wonder anymore.
a woman.
Mhm.
No.
Yeah.
And don't let the woman dare to have some morals, even though she's naked. You know, she's like, I don't do this on the first date. This is a whole other topic, but I mean, they go into what
That's
you know what
Saturday
you're
show.
wearing and what you're saying and what you're doing. They take us by our actions and by what we say. You know what I mean? So what to
Yeah.
That's Saturday show.
Yeah.
So you know,
We all week.
You want
He done
you wanna
added
talk
another
Miami
show.
all
child.
week.
We all week, baby.
but wait, he skipped Friday. We was
All
on
week.
Thursday.
Nah, no. Friday was the other topic that TK brought
okay.
up.
But
You late,
Yeah.
so
and
she won't be at that
that's-
show, y'all.
that's
Gentrification.
the information I try to portray to our young ladies that you know you have to love yourself and care for yourself and respect yourself first because they're not going to.
Mhm.
And when you sit down to talk to young boys, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna let TK do her motivation in a moment, honey. But when you sit down and talk to
Ooh,
these
yes.
boys, they say the exact same thing that what I've told my young girls. They feel like, well, they don't respect themselves. I treat her how I see her. That's what they say.
Yes.
I treat her how I see her.
Right.
Then the little girls come to me crying because their feelings are hurt because
Mhm.
you know he don't like her or he talked to her this way. And I'm not excusing it because y'all know I'm an advocate. I am an advocate first. But we have to make sure that we take responsibility of what
Yeah.
we're putting out there as well.
Yeah. I'm raising a daughter and I have a son, so I get to see both sides. So
Yeah.
I make sure that even if I'm a woman, I still set an example for my son to know how to treat a woman. And for my daughter, I tell her, you could be sexy, fully clothed. You don't have to be half naked. To be
Mhm.
honest, he should be intrigued with your mind.
Right.
Can I get somebody to be intrigued with my
TK,
mental?
can you say that one more time? Because if
Okay.
men thought a little bit better and they
Yes.
thought with a woman's mind and how she acts and how she
'Cause you could
carries
be
herself
so
was
pretty.
sexy,
There
you
you
know.
go. Yeah, you could
I'll
be
be
so
honest.
pretty from head to toe, but can't you? And just as dumb, I don't want to say the word dumb, but you're just not smart or educated, clueless. Is a better word. Yes. Go ahead, Sin. Sorry.
I'll be honest. You know, I didn't grow up being endowed with the features and the assets that society finds
The curves.
attractive. I'm part of the itty bitty titty committee, and I use my graphic tees more so like a billboard to express my thoughts and my
Yes, girl.
my
Come on, itty
advocacy
bitty club.
messages. And I get really cold when I don't got no clothes on. So I had to really I rely on my sense of humor. I rely on being well read, smart, and have using my social skills more so than, the other thing because that's easy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, but that's
so
what makes
easy.
you beautiful, Cindy. Is that you
Yeah.
don't rely,
You don't need all.
rely on your body parts. We have
Yeah.
girls out there that they don't want to go to school and they want to drop out because I got big boobs, I got big ass, and Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion and all these other people, they were strippers that became somebody.
Yeah.
So let me just use my stuff, and then they
They've
go into
empowered
strip
that.
clubs and they don't realize that not every stripper is a Cardi, not every stripper is a Meg Thee
Right.
Stallion. You know,
Right.
these are very rare, and it's like your beauty. Because I'll be honest. When we went to brunch a few weeks ago, what you wore was classy and sophisticated.
Yes.
You didn't have to show off any part of your body. And that
Mm-mm.
woman, I remember we were standing at the host stand and that woman told you flat out, I love what you're wearing. I remember hearing it, honey.
Mhm.
And it's like, that's what it's supposed to be about. It's the
Yeah.
beauty and how you carry yourself, not because you're showing a boob,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
Because I mean,
Simple-
what's
simple and
next?
elegant.
Men are just gonna walk down the street showing their things too. I mean, you
Yeah.
know,
Oh God, no.
no.
Now wait.
I mean,
now wait a
but,
minute.
you know, I ain't all
Wait,
prepared
Wait a
for
minute.
that. You know,
Wait a minute.
I ain't all prepared for that. You know,
So we're gonna
but-
go ahead and get this little bit of information from Mrs. TK's motivational
Ooh.
moments. Come on, sis,
Ooh.
wrap it up, bring us in, inspire us, encourage us, motivate us. Go ahead.
I'm just tired. We gotta go.
Absolutely. Motivation comes. Wait, did he say we gotta go?
He said
And
Shonda
Shauna
Shonda's
is
is
like,
tired. I didn't
She's
yawn
like-
though. I didn't yawn. I've been holding it.
she's doing good. She's doing
You
good.
can't yawn
y'all.
if you're talking.
Right.
Yes. You see when she hosting, it's a difference. You saw that, Cindy, right? But today's motivation is bittersweet. But I'm still going to find the good, and that's me. Everyone's like, especially kids, they're like, Miss TK, I've never seen you upset, or Miss TK, you're always happy. And I'm like, oh, trust me, I have my moments, but I tend to find the good in everything. And one thing that I do want to bring up, I said we cannot represent Miami without acknowledging Surfside, the condominiums that collapsed. I think today is day 6, about 6 days ago. And so I have to just go ahead and acknowledge. I want all of us to come together. That's the motivation. That's the inspiration, is that as a community, we went through a pandemic together. We went through challenges together. And when we come together, we can do some amazing things. So coming together to pray for these families, come together to keep them in our thoughts. If there's anything that you could do, I think I see people taking them water, comforters. There are people who don't have a home. They lost their home. They lost everything. And find a way as a community for us to stick together and get through this. And that's what I wanted to bring up today is Surfside strong. We are going to remain strong in this. We will, prevail throughout this tragedy. But just wanted to keep the families in our thoughts and prayers. And the main thing, and I really wanted to put a picture in there about the firefighters. We have firefighters that are there working day and night, all day, to try to save more people and just help us get through this and provide us with hope. So I just wanted to end this segment today acknowledging our community. Surfside, we are here for you and we love you guys. You guys are in our thoughts and our prayers. And that's what I have for us. And Shonda, you said something last night, and I'm just going to add it to my ending. Life is short. They were home.
Minding their
not like-
business.
Minding
their
their
beds.
business in their beds.
Sleeping.
So we never know the day, the time, or the hour that we leave this earth. And so I'm just going to go ahead and say it. For those who have loved ones and it's not right between you two, fix it. Life is
You
way
talking about
too
me. I
short.
wanna fix it.
I am not talking about you, Lord
Oh.
Jesus.
I'm sorry.
But
She cranky.
I'm gonna tell you to fix it. You know what? You got it. Me and you could talk later. We always talk over the phone. I know what you're talking about. But just find a way to, stop being bitter or mad or just angry with someone. If you can fix it. Because there is someone who lost a family member in that condo and they never got a chance to say goodbye to them or talk to them again.
Right.
To me, life is just too short, and we all could just be kind. So that is it from me, Shonda.
That is beautiful. And I
Yeah.
go ahead, Cindy.
Before we wrap, I have a little anecdote for when we had our special guest on today.
Okay.
And we
Mhm.
talked about, some people buy cars before they buy homes.
Mhm.
And I just wanted to bring back a throwback that I found today of my car before I bought my house.
I remember that one. I rode in that car.
That's
This
a
is a
Volvo.
1987 Volvo that I
Yes.
had in 2005.
Oh,
And
Yes,
it
you did.
still ran like a mug. And that car cost me $250.
I know
Play
that's
with it,
right.
and it got us all kind of places.
And it ain't had no AC, ain't had the windows
Ooh.
barely worked. I had to have
Ooh.
a fan put into it
Ooh.
that I bought from Walmart to blow
Oh.
on me.
The
And I
struggle was
would have
real,
a
honey.
wet
The struggle
rag
was real.
to wipe me down so I could feel it cool. And then when the windshield wipers were needed to be, when the
Yeah.
windshield needed to be wiped, I would throw a bottle of Poland Spring or Zephyr Hills water on top of the windshield so it would clean it. So I'd like to give a shout out to Bessie Sue. Thank you for getting me
Yes,
through my cleaning.
Bessie Sue. Yes, I
Okay,
remember
And now
that.
she owns a home and she lives in New York
And
LA.
I drive a
Okay?
brand new
So-
car.
And she got
And
a
a no
brand new
car.
car for her
So if you
birthday.
Thanks to my
believe it, it will
community.
be.
Yes, never look, keep
Get
the
a
faith,
fan
never
pop.
give up. But I just wanted to say, TK, thank you for your motivational moment. And we are definitely praying. I am my husband, my sexual chocolate,
All right,
specimen of
George.
husband that I have. He has been out there with the first
I did
responders,
see that.
and then he's going again tomorrow and the rest of this week. They will be feeding them and cooking and making sure that they're eating. So I am so proud of him. I'm so proud of him. He makes my heart warm, and I just make him a big old wet kiss me. Come on, just because.
Yes.
But I am so happy.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
One
Stevie B.
moment. Can I say something just to
You
emphasize on
can.
TK? What really breaks my heart is that it has to be a tragedy for us
Yeah.
to mention that you need to
Togetherness.
take care of your friends and your loved ones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
you're
like
right.
nobody thought about it before COVID. We were all in the
Mhm.
hustle and bustle, and then people
Yeah.
lost lives. There are people still today losing their lives to COVID.
Yeah.
And we never stop to think about it. It always takes a tragedy. It's like after 9/11, it was okay, we love each other. After Hurricane Andrew and after Hurricane Irma and Katrina,
And
we
for a
loved each other.
minute,
And
for a little bit.
it faded away. Exactly. So maybe every day, well, not this week, because this week we're busy all week on a talk show.
We
but
busy all week.
all week. But
All
Sunday show, we're gonna give you more love too. But no, like TK said, always tell somebody you love them,
Be
always
kind.
give somebody your help, and because it doesn't take a tragedy. Anybody could be here today and not tomorrow. So
I just want
remember to love.
close out. Thank you for your comments. Diva B, I thank you from my team. For y'all don't know, Diva B donated.
Oh,
Don't tell me amount,
I'm
girl.
not. I'm not gonna
Okay.
say.
Okay.
yeah, that's right.
I was
Bring
gonna
that
cut her
up.
ass out. I was gonna be like, okay, intro to exit.
I'm not telling my business, honey. But I appreciate Pain the Purpose. Appreciate you. I could not wait to get off the line and tell the team what was donated and who it came from, because they already love you. Lynette's well, you her best
They
friend.
love him.
So
yeah.
they love you. My husband loves you. He be sitting laughing
Mine
at
too.
you.
But this is
And they
a different
love-
kind of love, viewers. He don't
Yes.
love me like
Yes.
that. He loved me as one of his brothers from
Right.
another mother.
Pharaoh's the
So-
one got you on this show, so
I
you better
got you,
thank
bro.
him.
Exactly. Oh, okay.
Yes, and Pharaoh remembered me. So,
Yes.
I
So you
appreciate
are
that.
loved, and we appreciate you. You don't understand what you've done. I told you, but so much was happening, and I was griping to them, so they know. And we just appreciate it because you did so much just by that one gesture, and that just comes from caring, from giving your heart to someone else and caring about someone else in someone's situation. It's a big deal. Whenever in our organization, whenever we can, we donate to somebody. We don't get much, but we try to give back because you never know how it's going to come back to you. And God has
Can I
shown
speak one
to
more
me
second
over-
to interrupt you, Shonda? Last night, even after my donation, I wanted to go even further. And I set up a Facebook donation,
You
which we
did.
already got
You did.
$50
You
for
did.
the donate. So
I
I'm
gave
trying to get
you-
another $500. So please
Oh.
go to my Facebook page and donate to Pain to Purpose. It is an amazing organization. You can
Thank
read
you.
more about it, and it is all brought to you by
I'm right here.
Shonda. I swear to God, next show or one of the shows, I'm gonna get the pointing all correct.
Right.
But it is an organization that Shonda runs and facilitates, and it's just very powerful what she does every week. And if you haven't seen our last shows that touch your heart, go back and rewind to Buzzsprout or
Yeah.
Spotify and rewatch them, because
Yeah.
Shonda's Corner is always heartfelt and insightful. And if you donate, curse on you. But if you do
Ooh,
donate,
wait a
even
minute.
Wait,
if
all right,
it's
Wendy.
no,
Wait a
even if
minute.
it's $1, it doesn't matter. Somebody
Right.
can benefit from that $1. You know,
Everything.
there's no limit. Nobody says you have to have a limit, but donate to those in need and who
Yeah.
need your help. Thank
Well,
you.
thank you all so
I ain't
much.
talking no
We
more.
love you. Okay. Thank you all so much.
I have a request.
Okay, go ahead.
Instead of our outro video, can we play Lil Nas' performance going out? Because he tore that stage up. From a choreographer and artistic director, he tore it up. And I would like to go out with
You're gonna have
him.
to play it.
Have
I don't
it.
see it.
You do the countdown,
Girl,
and I got you, sis. Wait, she calling Gigi. She about to call Gigi. She calling Gigi, Diva B.
Work.
I'm sorry, y'all. My family just walked in the house, and my daughter literally stood behind my laptop and scared the mess out of me.
I heard that, Gigi. When he took me back to that Remember the Times, I jumped up,
Yes.
Sin.
Yes.
I jumped up,
He
Sin.
sure did.
Let's go.
He did,
So,
honey.
and choreographer Bankhead, one of my favorites. Oh my God,
Yes.
amazing. He is just amazing. I want to work with you one day. I mean, my daughter, because I done got old, but all right. Ooh.
All right. Thank you all so much. Have a good night. I'm still playing the outro video. That's our thing. Good
Yes,
night,
so-
everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Add it up. Okay, alright.
Y'all be cutting up behind the scenes, I swear. Good night, everyone. See you next week. Who's hosting next week?
Me?
Oh.
Sin. Break us down with all of our podcasts, all of our social media.
You
Promote
can
that for us.
catch us on all streaming platforms on our podcast, Talk Miami. Just put Talk Miami in the search bar and you will pop right up. We're on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Music, and on YouTube. So check us out. We're looking forward to seeing y'all next Monday with great internet, God willing. Peace out, Miami.
We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and
Oh,
next
guess
Monday.
what? Have a happy 4th of July.
Yes. Happy
We'll
4th.
see you, Diva B, this weekend.
Yes, you will.